This is the world's tallest team versus the world's smallest team. This is a 1v1 with the world's biggest football. And this is the smallest goal in the world. These are just some of the weirdest challenges I am going to be attempting in the next 24 hours. And make sure to stay until the end, as the results of the world's tallest v smallest team will shock you. The first challenge we were attempting is a 1v1 with the world's biggest football. And it was first to 3 goals. Game started and straight away the ball got smashed into me. I quickly realized just how powerful this ball was. And it seems Ade found a new tactic, as once again he smashed the ball against me and then tapped it into an empty goal. I didn't know how I was going to win this. But then, after some questionable play, I flicked the ball over Ade and slotted the ball in to make the score 1-1. However, Ade continued to use his strength against me as he held me off and turned me once again to score another open goal. I decided to use Ade's tactic against him as I drove and I smashed the ball at him. Despite him saving it, I was there for the rebound to make it 2-2. It all came down to the final goal. Ade tried to win it with a volley, but I made a good save. And then Ade did a crazy flick over me. He had an open goal and he tried to header it, but he missed. And the ball came straight into my path and I smashed it in to win 3-2. And just like that, challenge 1 was complete. Next up, it was time to test the world's smallest goal. And challenging me was none other than Pana Freestyle champion Antonio. This was not going to be easy. The rules are simple. 1 goal equals 1 point. And a nutmeg equals 2 points. And it was first to 3 points. The match started and straight away Antonio tried to embarrass me. I had to show Antonio what I could do. As I showed off my quick feet and some pointless skills, I tried to not make him but failed. And I think Antonio took it personally, as straight after he did an insane skill to not make me and earn himself 2 points. After being embarrassed, I had to show what I could do. So I showed off my quick feet and dribble past Antonio to score, and I was back in the game. But it didn't last long after Antonio did one of the craziest skills I have ever seen to nutmeg me. And with that nutmeg, he won the game. And as you can see, I struggled to believe what just happened to me. This challenge was one of the craziest challenges yet, as I was attempting to score with every type of sports ball. But there was a twist. I had to score a different type of goal with each ball, and I only had 3 attempts per ball. First up, we had to get an actual football out the way, and for this ball, I was attempting a half volley. And on my first attempt, I realized scoring with a football might be harder than I thought. My second attempt was a much better strike, but it was just wide. And then on my final chance, I hit a very clean strike, and just like that, the football was out of the way. The next ball up was a basketball, and I was attempting to score with a 2-touch challenge. The basketball came in, I took a good touch, set myself up, and hit a great strike, but it came off the crossbar. On my second attempt, I took the perfect touch, and I absolutely smashed the ball into the top corner. Next up, we had one of the most difficult balls yet, none other than the tennis ball, and I went for a 1v1 to complete this challenge. For my first 1v1, I just about controlled the ball before attempting step overs and failing. I went to chase the ball and I managed to do a fake shot. I had an open goal in front of me, but somehow I missed. For my second 1v1, I controlled the tennis ball well. I did the cleanest step overs to send the goalkeeper and tap the ball into an empty goal. Now, it was time for the hardest ball yet. To complete this challenge, I had to score outside the box with a rugby ball. But on my first attempt, I hit the craziest strike ever into the top corner. This might be one of the best goals I have ever scored. I couldn't believe it. And just like that, we completed another challenge. This next challenge was another 1v1, but this time it was with the world's smallest football. This was going to be interesting. The 1v1 began and I made sure to win the ball first. And straight away I managed to nutmeg Ade, I cut back in and I slotted the ball in to make it 1-0. But Ade responded straight away by flicking the ball over me and he went on to smash it in the goal to bring it back level. I then attempted an overhead kick, but it was just wide. And I would pay for that miss as Ade chipped the ball over me and he was through on goal, but he decided to wait and embarrass me first. And then he eventually tapped it in to now make the score 2-1. However, that lead didn't last long after I managed to hold off Ade and I hit a Rabona shot to now make the score 2-2. It all came down to the final goal. I was driving at Ade, I turned towards goal and I just about managed to score to win the game. And after a very tight win, there was now one final challenge left for me to complete. It was now time for the world's tallest team versus the world's smallest team. The tall team had an average height of 6'4", whereas the small team average height was only 5'6". Let me know in the comments what your score prediction is. To pass this challenge, there were 3 objectives I had to complete. Number 1, for me to score a goal. Number 2, I had to get an assist. And number 3, the most important, to beat the small team. It was time for kickoff and it was the tall team who started the game. And in the first few minutes, a small player attempted a rainbow flick, but straight away realized just how much more physical the tall team was. But the small team weren't giving up. And after a good pass, Menace hit an amazing strike, but it was a good save. I had my first involvement in the game as I held off a small player and did a quick turn with a step over. I was through on goal and I did a fake shot which sent the defender on the floor. I dribbled past him, but after a bad pass, I missed a chance to get my first assist of the game. The ball came to me again. I took a good touch and played a perfect reverse pass into Junior. Junior was in front of goal and he managed to slot the ball in to make it 1-0. And I also managed to get an assist, meaning I had completed my first objective. And the small team used their agility to their advantage as they drew a foul in the penalty box after a very clear foul. It was now their chance to draw level. Abel stepped up to take the penalty, but he missed. Small team missed their chance to go level. And as you can see, the tall team were very happy with that miss. Tall team were on the break, and after a great over-the-top ball, I managed to get in between both defenders and play a sweaty pass, which the striker tapped in to make it 2-0. And even though I now had 2 assists, I still needed to score. It was time for the second half, and straight away you could see how much better the small team were passing it around the tall team. And the small team were on fire as their striker Menace was using his quick feet to drive past the tall team, despite them trying to foul him. And after dribbling past 4 players, he made a quick turn and hit another great strike. But the keeper pulled off another great save. And after pressing the defense, the small team had won the ball. It was a 2v1 and after a good pass, the striker hit a good shot into the bottom corner to make it 2-1. The small team were back in the game. The small team were not giving up. And after dominating the second half, the small team had their biggest chance yet. After a perfect pass, the small team somehow missed. They missed their easiest chance yet to get back into the game. The tall team managed to win the ball from a clearance and the ball came to me. And I hit an insane pass down the line to Junior. Junior was through and got 1v1 against the keeper, but he somehow failed to score. It was now the final minutes and the small team had all their players forward. And we took advantage of this after an amazing through ball. I was through on goal and I hit a brilliant strike to score my goal. And just like that, I had completed all 3 objectives for this challenge. Make sure to comment your favorite challenge and thank you for watching.